feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake, right? It also means to cancel a debt, pardon, to excuse, to exonerate, to absolve, to acquit, to let off, forgiveness, to forgive. 5 reasons to forgive. So, number one is a form of self care. A part of my journey was having a positive mindset. And I didn't just wake up and mindset. There was something that happened with me inside of me that had me have a positive mindset. So let me ask you a question. You ever seen somebody, they just, man, I'm talking about gorgeous, drop down, dead gorgeous, man. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful smile. The skin is just perfect. And then as soon as they open up their mouth, their attitude is so nasty, right? That's not the same person that I kind of got involved with. That's not the same person that I wanted to meet, right? So what I'm saying is, how can you have forgiveness in your heart and you're doing care and you have a negative attitude? You ever met those negative Nates or those negative Nancys, right? You gotta have a positive mindset, man. And I love to talk about positivity and the positive mind shift, but from where you are to where you're supposed to be, and that comes with just those practicing those laws of abundance and just working on yourself intentionally, the shadow work or therapy or whatever people call it, right? Number 2, 5 reasons. We're talking about 5, just 5 reasons to forgive yourself and others. Number, it heals things from your life, such as, I don't know, right? There was a there's a spiritual root to disease. And so I just want to talk about my experience with cancer and how I feel like that affected me, right? So when we talk about Eastern medicine versus Western medicine, right? So my backstory, share the story. If not, then here it goes. Right about 2018, I was driving this thing called Life, and I had my first mammogram, and I found out that I had breast cancer on my lunch break. First mammogram, couple. This is great insurance, great company, beautiful firm. I was supporting probably about 10 or 15 executives, and I went in for my mammogram. Care of myself, y'all. Like I hadn't been taking care of myself. I was taking care of everybody else. I was eating right, but I was on the move to have, you know what I'm saying, a diagnosis with cancer. I'm fine, I'm healthy. But however, that was a situation. And so I found myself being in a space of really just being pissed off, but just honestly, just pissed off. I'm angry. You know what I mean? Like nobody was talking about this. I have Christian friends, I have Buddhist friends, I have, friends that don't believe anything. And all of my friends, you know what I'm saying, was talking about everything, but they never talked about this anger that I had. I was angry. And I found myself having a conversation with God. I asked God, you know what I'm saying, like, out of all of the things that you could have gave me, you know what I'm saying, or anything you could have gave this to somebody else, and before I could really get that out of my mouth, like somebody else deserves cancer, as if somebody else deserves, to go into the doctor and have to have chemo or surgery or anything. Like what makes me feel like I'm so all of that I can't be touched. You understand? I thought that I was kind of invincible. I'm doing the right things, I'm talking to the right people. But however, that wasn't the move. The move was, it was a positive left invasive ductal carcinoma of the left breast in situ. Like I had to sit in that. And I was pissed. You know what I'm saying? I was upset. Okay. I was upset. I didn't like going through that experience, but I understood that I was also really angry. I was really angry, y'all, at some things that had happened in my previous in the previous years, things that had happened while I was down in before I had come to Florida, things that had happened in my childhood, just angry. Do you ever need a real reason to really be angry? No, not really. You know what I mean? So I found myself in the space where I was just upset. And and that anger that sat and festered, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't really release, it manifested itself as cancer and a cancer diagnosis. And although I lived to share my story, there were so many other people who didn't. 5 reasons to forgive. We're just talking about 5, y'all. Number 3. So number care, you have to have that positive mind shift. Number 2, it heals you from things like an unwanted or unexpected diagnosis, such as cancer. Number 3, a third reason to forgive, there is an out of the cocoon experience. That thing that I went through with the cancer, and it changed me. And sometimes things, situations in life, you all already know, it make you bitter or it makes you better. People have been passing away left and right on my book. These COVID uh with COVID and everybody fighting against one thing versus another, and us being at war, and just, it's a lot of things that's going on in our world, man. But those things that directly impact and affect you, there's an out of the cocoon experience. So y'all know I love the butterfly. I talk about, they're all in my timeline. They're all in my room, right? There's just an out of the cocoon experience. Your caterpillar experience was not meant to keep you as a caterpillar forever, bruh. Your caterpillar experience was meant to take you through something called a metamorphosis, right? And so when you're thinking about, I love to look up stuff. I love to research. And when I look up the definition of of this, means the process of transformation from an immature form to an adult form in 2 or more distinct stages. Man, listen, I ain't no preacher, but that thing will preach right there. You're going through a metamorphosis. A caterpillar wasn't meant to be a caterpillar forever. We're talking about reasons to forgive, and I want y'all to invite somebody. This is substance right here. This podcast is substance. I'm gonna have some funny stuff. I might drop a couple of profanity for all of my profanity user in the vernacular. We just talking about 5 reasons to forgive. God brother LP, my co-host, is out today. He's traveling to St. Louis. Probably shocked him because I told him I was going to be on at 11 o'clock. I might still be hanging out at 11. I don't know, but I just wanted to come on live and drop this knowledge, man, because I got a lot of stuff that's going on. And sometimes we just need to be present for ourselves, but we also need to be present for others. So today we just talking about 5 reasons. There's an out of cocoon experience. Talked about the metamorphosis, the process of transforming from an immature form or more distinct stages. Why did you come here on earth, beloved? What are you sent here to do, bro? You understand? Was you sent here to be a caterpillar for your whole life? Or at some point were you supposed to transmute into something else? So recognizing that you're not a caterpillar anymore. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing that you're not a caterpillar anymore. You have transmuted into something else. It makes you want to do better, right? Like this mindset that we're in, that we had 10, 20, 30 years ago. Come on, man. We got to do better. So go through your experience. Go through that thing called life through your dash, man, in forgiveness. 5 reasons to forgive yourself and others. You want to teach others because you identify with their pain point, right? What's going on, God brother? You here? Yeah, man. We're just talking about reasons to forgive. And I about being spontaneous. You know, they say you ain't never got to get ready if you stay ready. So I feel like I'm staying ready right now, God brother. And you know, um we're just gonna do what we gonna do. So I just dropped the link. I'm dropping the link over in my socials too, y'all. So let me hold on. All right, y'all. All right, let me see if I got you in here, God brother. You know, I'm trying to work through these technical difficulties. All right. So at any rate, yeah, so we're just talking about reason to forgive. You know what I'm saying? 5 reasons to forgive yourself and other. This is the iCast with your host, Charlotta Germain, also known as Naomi Sadiq. I'm getting ready to introduce that name to you, to myself, to my soul tribe, y'all. Y'all getting ready. It's getting ready to go down. Number 4, it gets you unstuck. Right? Let me actually go back in, because I talked about there's an out of the cocoon experience. You want to teach others because you identify with their pain point. And some y'all don't even realize, like, first of all, sometimes I don't have any shirts, jackets on, because I'm saying I'm going through some things in my body. Breast cancer gave me a lot of nerve damage. It caused me to have some disruptions in my body and in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? It caused me to have some mental unrest, depression, right? It caused me to have anxiety, thinking too much, and just being able to have a conversation with people about the things that they've experienced. How many people that come into my DMs that talk about, you know, hey, Charlotta, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. Thank you for being so strong. My brother was diagnosed with breast cancer. My brother was diagnosed, my friend had cancer. You never know what your experience and what you're doing and what you've done and how that can affect someone else. So what if your next damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, the thing that you really been praying for, the thing that you really needed to get, what if that one thing was connected to you being able to forgive, beloved? So we got to get to a place where, you know what I'm saying, we can use that word forgive and use it like it was supposed to be meant. So here we go. Let's just tap in for a second. I don't really like being on camera, y'all. I get nervous, but all praise is due to the Most High God's source, who always causes me to triumph, and those are facts. And so I will begin to speak out and up for the people that are considered the voiceless. Um, they say that there are 3 types of forgiveness: exoneration, forbearance, and release. And for this particular topic for today's episode, talking about release, you know, the art of allowing, the art of releasing. It is critical, it is vital that we learn how to release things that no longer serve us, right? Things that they do when they check your blood pressure is they tell you to put your feet flat on the floor, take a nice deep breath, and try to relax as much as possible, right? And in doing so, what was happening is it's oxygenating your blood. Top of your head to the sole of your feet is oxygenating your blood. So there's something about breathing that changes the trajectory of your body. And when your body is constricted, affected, you, which is the same thing as high blood pressure, a higher pulse rate. Sometimes you have carotid arteries and blocked arteries, right? You have tingling and numbness in your feet or in your arms. That's a constriction. So the option is to release. So when we're talking about forgiveness, it's me releasing you from what you did to me that hurt me. Well, how do I forgive that person? Where do you start? Start from the root of it. You know what I mean? Our children are angry all of the time, man. I go and say that. I say that our children, they're learning to only pick up anger, right? They're not picking up love anymore. They're not picking up the nurturing part. They're not picking up empathy. They're not picking up compassion. They're picking up anger and rage, revenge and vengeance, and holding grudges. And so in order for us to be able to heal from the inside out, we're wanting to manifest some things for those of us that are metaphysical, those that are us that are prayer warriors. We know that we're wanting to pray something into existence, to speak those things that are not as though they were. Right? That allows you to be able to release an intention, to set an intention, to release that intention, and also to draw to you what it is that you're focused on. But if you're focused on your anger, you're only going to perpetuate more and more anger. It's law, right? Like, so let us be better in our acts of forgiveness. Why do I have to forgive my ex-husband who really, I'm saying, he justified in my anger, bro? Man, who? My ex-husband is justified in my anger, in my mind. But situations come into our life to either bring us great blessings or teach us valuable lessons, and we need them both. And when we start really focusing in on that and really focusing in on what was the lesson or what was the blessing in that, the blessing is that I survived a domestic violent relationship, right? Or whatever you survived, right? And come on, man, you know better. You when your spirit told you not to do such and such or go such and such, or you know what I'm saying, that person wasn't right about, so your spirit source always letting us know, man. All right, number 4. 5 reasons to forgive. Divine alignment, divine assessment, divine alignment, divine assignment, divine alignment, divine assignment, divine alignment, divine. Listen, forgiveness is just saying, I'm not saying what you said was okay. I'm not saying what you did and what you said was okay. But you no longer get to rent space or take up space in my for those things. I forgive you and I forgive me. It gets you to your divine alignment with God, man. You know what I'm saying? For your glory, I'll do anything. Want to be where you are. Y'all know I talk about it. But do you really want to be where you supposed to be? Or you want to be over here wondering why your blessings ain't came down that one street because you wasn't supposed to be on that street, man? We have a divine assignment on our lives. Your life is not like mine. You understand? Even though it makes me uncomfortable, even though my lighting might not be right, even though things might not be well in my life, or, you know what I mean? I have to continue to do the work because it's in the consistency, because I have an assignment on my life. People are waiting. People are waiting for your arrival, God brother. People are waiting on your arrival, God sister. People are waiting on your arrival because you have an assignment on your life. So don't sleep on your assignment because you so hell-bent on making sure that you get this person they did, or you get that person back for the things that they did, because they got to pay for what they did. If you're gonna do that, then use your exercise your rights to the fullest extent of the law, but don't let it harbor space into your heart space and cause disruptions in your makeup and your DNA construct. All right. And number 5 reasons to forgive. It drives your success. It drives your success, right? 6 surgeries relative to breast cancer, to ovarian. I was not healing. I wasn't able to think about anything except healing. I wouldn't have been able to start this podcast or start my business or have a conversation with people that's going to change the trajectory of their life, or introduce the things in my life, manifest those things that I want, had I not able to forgive the self and sit with the self and figure out what's the common denominator in me. What's the common denominator in me? Why I keep going through this particular thing right here? Because guess what? It's only one denominator in this equation, bro. That's you. So, you can look up the 8 divine karmic laws of action, right? We're talking about power, abundance, management of yourself, of your mind. Take control of your mind. Take control of your mind. Don't let your mind go all over the place. Don't let your emotions go all over the place, beloved. You are supposed to be in control of your emotions. Your emotions are not supposed to be in control of you. So we're talking about having forgiveness, man. I want y'all to just tap in, because when you really see the tricks that's being played right in front of your eyes, the things that you watch in the programs that are programming you to be the way that you are, turn it off, man. Turn it off. If you need to look up real statistics, turn it off. Don't turn on the news. The news is not meant to bring you no warm and fuzzies. You need to look at statistics. Okay, what those papers saying, what the stock market saying. Need to know what's going on. I'm not saying be uninformed, because that's part of our problem, is that we just kind of walk in ignorance sometimes, man. And I don't want us to be ignorant of knowledge. So be knowledgeable, but don't be contained. Don't be constricted, right? I think I was looking up the, constriction, and we talked about that blood pressure, man. Let it go. Let it go. Constriction, constriction. And I looked this stuff up with y'all like it's real time. It just means the act of making something narrower by pressure or becoming narrower, a tightening, right? So I tell my son all the time, you know what I'm saying? You might not have attitude, but you're certainly tight. So if you're wanting to manifest $1 million, if you're wanting to become a vendor or a host, if you're wanting to manifest that house, if you're wanting to manifest that wife, if you're wanting to manifest that healing, if you're wanting to manifest whatever it is that you're looking to manifest, how can you do that if you don't practice allowance? Come on, man. So in closing, I just want to say, you know what I mean? Like, forgiveness is important for a reason. We talked about the metamorphosis. 5 reasons to forgive. Number care gives you a positive mind shift. You need to do a paradigm shift in your life. If you thinking about something, if a thought becomes a thing after about 10 to 17 seconds, and that thing turns into energy, and you're transmuting negative energy, that says something. You have to work on your forgiveness. Forgiveness is a form of self-care. Number 2, it heals you from things, from cancer, diabetes, blood pressure problems, heart disease. All of these things are spiritually connected. And that's for a whole nother episode. But as within, so without, as above, so below. You know what I mean? The upside down world and Stranger Things, and what's going on in our reality. There's always another angle to look at that. But know that forgive. And there's a number 3, there's an out of the cocoon experience. You want to teach others because you identify with their pain points. How can you help someone if you've never gone through what they've gone through, man? Towing through the tulips, happy-go-lucky, abundant living, abundant, everything is positive. Like, no, I have real things going on with my life, even as we speak. But what I was determined to do is pick up that thing called confidence, man. I think 19 keys evidence is holding on to the truth, holding on to what you believe, even though that's not what you see. I probably added that. Number 4, it gets you unstuck. Divine alignment versus divine assignment. And number 5, your gifts make room for you. Your success becomes inevitable. So let your unforgiveness drive your success today, man. I know with some people on my timeline, and I won't name no names, but, sometimes we laugh through our pain. We eat through our pain. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have anger through our pain, man. And sometimes you just don't know what you're supposed to do, but we're going through this thing called life together, and to work out the way that it was designed. I want you to forget that. I always remind you that you are a phenomenon. You know what I mean? And I know I deal with people that come from every different walk of life, but a phenomenon is simply a fact or situation that is observed to exist or happen, especially one whose cause or explanation is in question. Right? A phenomenon is a remarkable person, thing, or event. But it's a phenomenon. And I'm not going to stop telling you that no matter what your situation is, no matter what your bank account look like, no matter what the doctors are saying, no matter what your people are saying around you, no matter if it seems that you have support or you don't, no matter if it seems like people understand you or overstand you or understand you or they don't. I don't care about none of that. I showed up in a bonnet because I don't care about none of that. I care about this message. And this message is simply this: forgive, man. We got to walk in forgiveness no matter what and at all times. So it's 29 after the hour and 39 seconds. I'm tapping out. I love y'all so much. Episode 7. We was hanging out by ourselves today. We were not hanging out. LP is out in these streets and in St. Louis, and he's he's traveling. So I was kind of looking to see what I could do this week, and then some things really happened behind the scenes this week. So y'all keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. We'll see y'all next week. It's my birthday month. We're gonna see how things go, y'all. Me and my daughter, November the 30th. November the 19th, we're having a couple of events, virtual events. I want y'all to stay tuned for that. Some financial literacy workshops. We got some fun shenanigans. Women, Phenomenally Me Women's Society, our first annual virtual event. That's scheduled for the 19th. So I'm working on getting the landing page and stuff for that. And being an entrepreneur is not easy, bro. I'm tired, boss. But I'm going to be well, y'all. Take it easy.